often do is just kind of like, I don't want to say prime, do my skincare a little bit before I put makeup on. This is just coconut oil. I've been trying to use like more natural products as of late, especially under my makeup, so that's what I'm going to do first. I used to be really into relationships and maybe be a little bit too relationship focused. One thing about me I've learned that I don't want is a unhealthy dynamic with someone, even if it's someone I like and I'm head over heels with, like in love with, you know what I mean? Like if that person isn't a healed person, sorry, I'm just going to start my eyebrows. If that person isn't healed, like emotionally, physically, even monetarily, which I'll get into later in this video, then I don't necessarily want to be with them. And I know that there's no perfect people. I'm not a perfect person. There's no one that's perfect. So you kind of are deciding on being with someone, knowing their flaws and loving them through that. However, that person has to be aware of their issues to a degree where they're working on themselves to fix those issues. It's the problem for me is where a person doesn't think they have a problem. Just like an alcoholic. I know it's really, really drastic, but when someone doesn't think that they have an issue, then that issue will never get addressed, because as many times as you try and bring this up to them as a problem that you might want to see them work on, they won't see it that way, and they'll kind of turn that into you're making fun of me, or you're trying to pick on me or make me like the issue, and I don't see myself as an issue, you should love me as I am, blah blah blah. The whole time you think that there's a problem, but that person doesn't see this issue. I don't know if that makes sense. Basically what I'm saying is because this is like getting off topic, I'm not as relationship focused. I would love to meet someone who I gel with. I was just dating someone who met like all those requirements that I just said, like monetary, physical, health, attraction, all of that stuff, chemistry, similar like path in life, but the emotional aspect wasn't there. Like this person wasn't emotionally, in my opinion, I mean it's very subjective, but they weren't emotionally aware of maybe traumas they've experienced in their past and like how to really heal those things and move past it. So yeah, that was a big eye-opening thing for me. Are we healed? Are we in a good place to be in a healthy relationship? That's what matters to me. And if that means putting it on the back burner and not putting so much emphasis, because guys, we put so much dang emphasis on relationships these days, it's ridiculous. And I hate to say this, but it's gonna come off harsh anyways, so I'm gonna say it. There's so many more important things that we could all be worrying about in our lives other than dating and relationships. Like that's just the long and short of it. Developing ourselves as people, loving our family members, our loved ones in real ways, building wealth, just creating the lives we want to live, doing the things we want to do, achieving our dreams. That should be our full focus. And I feel like a lot of times we put too much energy worrying about another person and how they're going to come to an interaction with us, if that makes sense. Kind of dark, I don't know why. I know why, because it's rainy AF today and we're fighting for sunlight today, guys. That was a big epiphany. We're gonna pivot off of that now. Monetary wealth, building up your financial game is I want to say most important. In your 20s, you're gonna make some stupid decisions. I've made my fair share. I'm trying to decide what I'm gonna do for my eyeshadow. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I'm just gonna stick with neutrals because neutral colors are nice. Anyways, I don't know if you guys like makeup, but the palette I use a lot that has a lot of like really nice fall neutral shades is the
Emily Edit palette. I can't talk today, guys. It may be because I'm slightly in a rush, but I'm gonna try and slow down. Sorry.
Taking just some neutrals and blending that into my crease. Here is you're gonna make a lot of stupid decisions. Like, I've made a whole lot of dumb choices thus far, guys. I really have, and I'm not afraid to admit to that. I was just kind of like learning, you know? I did not save up as much as I wanted to up until the age of 26. I can say that, and I'm not afraid to. I know some people want to fake it and seem like they got so much money, and they're like, we all haven't made the best decisions, and I think that we don't say that enough, especially when we're in our 20s and we're kind of just getting on our feet. The reality is they don't teach financial literacy or anything regarding finances at all, especially in the public school system. And that's kind of part of, I mean, it's troubling that, you know, in America, we don't put enough emphasis on that. But it's just the reality. And once we hit about 21, I would say society kind of tells us, and the norms are, you should have your stuff established, you should just be ready to go. Whatever that means. You should just be, all right, off to the races. Do you succeed? And when you don't have the right toolkit, in a lot of cases, some of us don't, even people that are well off, you know, they have parents that, you know, have taken care of them. I don't want to say they grew up with a silver spoon in their mouth, but were provided for, right? I was not raised in poverty. I was provided for. Your parents maybe didn't take the time to go over how the real world really will be, what you will need, classes you probably should be taking, because not until recently, I don't think, you know, people really started to understand until recently how much we're not taught in school and how much we are unprepared once we graduate. And a lot of times we are dependent upon other people telling us what to do or what we should be doing as a result of constantly being told this is the right way and not having the ability to think freely. And I feel like that kind of leads people into doing things that they're not passionate about, really. Just things that will provide them a life that they can, you know, pay their bills, feel like they're socially accepted, etc. Start early, don't wait. Because the longer you wait, the harder it is, and the more bills and obligations you have. And it's not fun to have, you know, your everything due at once and not have enough put away to know you're comfortable. That's a very uncomfortable feeling, and I feel like it's not just tied to, you know, young people. I don't know what the statistic is. Right, this is getting a little too dark now. Americans don't even have $1,000 in their savings account. Like, you know, money they just don't touch. It's just in savings. Not even like enough people do have that. Not to even say a rainy day fund, just $1,000, which I think is just very, very telling as to, is someone calling me? Someone's calling me. We're gonna ignore that. Social expectations, your family, what your family expects of you to do, and how that correlates with what you're going to actually do with your life. And this ties back to like the whole college thing and, you know, what you want to do with your life. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's like a pressure, like there's an unspoken race to the finish line to do, and I'm not even saying like your family, but just, I feel like society overall pressures people to get in line and do a certain thing, whether it's working an occupation or something that equates to your success in a lot of ways. And there's not a lot of emphasis put on figuring yourself out, figuring your, excuse my language, your shit out, so you know what's going to make you happy, what you want to do for the rest of your life. Because I want to reiterate again, the rest of your life is a long time. I like to say that these years are like our experimental years, where we just kind of are figuring out what we want to do with our lives. Nothing is guaranteed. The future is always changing, and you just have to worry about, number one, the here and now, what you can affect to affect your future. I know it sounds really crazy. It doesn't make much sense, right? Worry about the here and now, what you can do now to affect what your future will look like. The reason I'm making this video here, which seems very out of the blue, it is, I feel like a lot of people don't talk about like the very important things that young adults typically want to talk about. You know what I mean? There's a lot of talk about drama and, you know, this and that, things that don't really matter, but not really the deep stuff that we ultimately care about day to day. I truly believe in my heart of hearts, there's a lot of people I know, a lot of people I run into that are afraid to just be themselves because they're afraid, what are my family going to think? What is society going to think? Life is meant to be lived authentically, at least in my humble opinion. My 20s, learning how to unlearn certain traits, certain things, even the most unhealthy things I learned growing up. How can I fundamentally become healthier? I was panicking, thinking, what's gonna happen if I can't get all this shit straight by a certain point? Like, you know, I'd be like, okay, 22, 23, I gotta have a house, I gotta have the best car, I gotta have all this stuff, otherwise my life is not complete. And that is the most toxic thing you could ever do to yourself. And that's just so not how life works. Yes, it's good to have goals, and yes, it's good to hold yourself to that, but life is not a race, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta take the time, be patient with yourself. That's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to say in this video. Hopefully this kind of made sense. If it didn't, I am so sorry. I wanted to kind of just give like my 2 cents on just life as a 20-something-year-old. Promise that's gonna be the last time I say 20-something-year-old in this video. Yeah, makeup is on my face. I'm going to head out and, you know, try and get some things done today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you didn't, again, feel free to thumb it down. If you guys do like rambly videos like this, let me know in the comments. Sound off if you found anything relatable in this video. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this. Be well, be safe, and take care, guys. Bye.